Moving along in our Brawloween series this year, I have a ghost deck, or in this case, spirits, because that is the ghosts of Magic the Gathering.
They're ghosts, though.
And present to you now my I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost deck. So here it is in all of its glory, my I Ain't Afraid of No Ghost deck. And if you get the Ghostbusters reference, you're awesome.
Somebody get me the Ghostbusters.
At any rate, this is piloted by Toluz Clever Conductor, because there's not an Esper Spirits commander in Historic Brawl, but she actually has some synergies with the stuff that's in the deck. For those that don't know what she does, Toulouse is a hybrid blue-white, a blue, and a hybrid blue-black, a 3/1 human rogue that says when it enters the battlefield, it connives. And if you don't know what connive is, you draw a card, discard a card, and when you do, something happens. And in this case, it's they get a counter if it's a non-land card that you discard. And whenever you discard one or more cards, you exile them from your graveyard. And when Toulouse dies, you put the counters that were exiled into the owner's hand. Now, bear this in mind. If she gets exiled or you exile her using like a blink effect or a flicker effect, you will lose the card that is exiled with her ability. So be careful how you use those things. So, and speaking of exiling your own stuff, my protection suite's a lot lighter than I normally do, and it's a little different. Rather than giving protection from color or hexproof or indestructible or whatever, we just have some blink effects here. We have Essence Flux, you exile a creature, and if it's a spirit, you get a counter on it. And Ephemerate, it blinks something out of play, and then it has Rebound, which means you can play it again for free the next turn at the beginning of the turn. And then we have Removal, like I usually do, a big nice fat pile of it. Meathook Massacre, Doomscar, Supreme Verdict, and Day of Judgment are all my board sweeps. We have Feed the Swarm for a little bit of enchantment and or creature removal. That is actually just a synergy card. Bone Shards for removal of planeswalkers and creatures, and same thing with Bloodchief's Thirst. Bone Shards also has a synergy with Toluz, because if you do the discard, whatever you discard while she's on the board will get exiled and you can get it back later, so you're not really losing that card. And we have our pile of mana rocks, the usual suspects for a tribal deck, quote unquote. We have Arcane Signet, Cold Steel Heart, Mindstone, and Herald's Horn, naming spirits. And then we have the Ghosts of Honor here, all of our spirits. Starting at the top here, we have Shipwreck Sifters. Again, this works well with Toulouse, because if whatever you discard to the Sifter, you're going to get it back under her anyhow. Adversary for phasing and protection stuff. Dorothea, the big thing with her is actually the enchantment part on the back, because you create a 4/4 spirit creature token, which then gets pumped by your spirit lords and anything that affects spirits in general. And it's just a good way to get a nice temporary attacker on the board. Hanged Executioner, he can be brought out and he can be used to exile something, or he just generates a couple of bodies. This works well with Bloodline Pretender, which is going to be down the deck a little bit further. You name spirit on him, you play him, he gets 2 counters right off the go. And if you blink the Hanged Executioner, you just get more and more tokens off of it as well. Touch the Spirit Realm. You can exile an artifact or a creature with it, or you can actually channel it and do a flickering effect to blink something out. Guardian of Faith, Flash Vigilance. When it enters, everything else you have creature-wise just phases out. Good way to protect against board sweeps. Or, inversely, you can be more offensive with it. You can phase all your stuff out and then throw a board wipe out and kill all their stuff and just your Guardian of Faith versus all your stuff phasing back in the next turn. Catilda, she loves enchantments, but she also loves spirits, and we have so many spirits and little ways to make spirit tokens in the deck. It just makes sense to have her in the deck. And usually most opponents will kill her or exile her as quick as they can, because that lifelink that's on her just gets her out of control. Because if she's a 5/5 or a 6/6 lifelinker smashing in, it's really hard for them to actually do anything about it. And if you can get it where she dies and you put it on something else and make it big, it's just as bad. Skyclave Apparition, if you've been playing Standard in the last 2 years, you know what this thing does. It's removal, it's a spirit, and it's just really good. Nebelgast Herald for 2 and a blue, a 2/1 flash flyer that when it enters, it can tap down an opponent's creature, and then every time you play an additional spirit after that, you tap down more stuff. So it actually helps. And I think it's the last game of the recordings I did for this. I actually tapped down my opponent's blockers using this and a 1-drop of some sort. And I actually exactly killed them. It was great. Patrician Geist, our spirit lord in the deck. Also, other spirits you control get +1/+1. And it says spells you cast from your graveyard cost 1 less to cast. The only way this really comes into play is if you're disturbing one of the enchantment creatures out of the graveyard. So it goes to the graveyard and then disturbs itself back out as an enchantment. It's really only going to affect their casting costs. Otherwise, that part doesn't matter. Cemetery Illuminator, you can use this as graveyard hate to exile a card from their graveyard, and then you can you can cast a spell from the top of your library that's the same kind that you exiled from their graveyard. So it has some benefit, but it's mostly there just to eat up graveyard and be a 2/3 flyer for us. Dream Shackle Geist, this thing is really good, and it's imperative that you get this out, especially against big, tramply, dumb things like Titan of Industry. Because if you can't kill the stupid thing because of a shield counter, you could just keep tapping it over and over again. Sometimes you have to just take the hit on the chin, take the 7, and then just lock it down the rest of the game. Because as long as you keep this on the board, they can't do anything. It's just a big paperweight at that point. Empyrean Eagle, it's a spirit itself, and on top of that, most of the spirits in the deck fly, contrary to my own stupidity sometimes. And so you're going to go ahead and just get +1/+1 to all your flyers. Soul Herder, this one's a fun trick in the deck. Anything that's got an ETB effect, like Hanged Executioner or Toluz herself, you can blink at the end of the turn with the Soul Herder. It'll get bigger, and then you get the ETB effect on the creature again. Now, just bear in mind, again, with Toluz, if you blink her, you're going to lose the card that's under her. So make sure if you have this little synergy trick set up to be pitching things you either don't care if you lose them or don't need anymore. And that's supposed to be in the removal card category. Wow, I did not separate that very well. Okay. Just to show you the things I didn't move earlier, I do also have Mortify and Void Rend in here as just some single target removal. Back to the spirits. We have Bloodline Pretender, which I mentioned earlier. You name spirits, it's a 2/2, and it gets a counter for every spirit that comes into the battlefield. It's not on cast. So if you blink a spirit and it comes in, it'll get bigger. I've gotten this thing up to like 8/8 before, and they have to kill it or they have to block it or they're just going to die. It's a really good target if your Lantern Bearer dies, which I'll talk about him in a little bit. Just strap on the flying enchantment to him and just go to town. Faceless Agent is a spirit changeling itself, and it will seek a spirit out of the deck and put it in your hand. It's just a good little card advantage thing. Goshintai of Shared Purpose. No other shrines in the deck, so you're only going to get 1 off of this no matter what. So, pay 3 and a white, it's a 1/3 vigilance, and you create little 1/1 chump blockers or spirits that help benefit everything else on the board. Ao Vedonsky. Hey, guess what is also, besides being a dragon, a spirit? Oh yeah, it's all the stuff from Kamigawa. So all these dragons are also dragon spirits. So Ao here, more often than not, if your board is developed, you're just going to go ahead and put counters on everything to make it harder for your opponents to survive. But if they blow the entire board up, you just go search for replacements in the deck because there's so many low to the ground creatures. You're more than likely going to get 2 things off of it, a couple of 2-drops or a 1 and a 2-drop or whatever to put back onto the board as you go. Then we have the sister to Ao there, Kyrie the Swirling Sky. This thing will wreck opposing token decks. The trigger on death that removes the mana value 6 or less and bounces everything. Tokens have 0 mana value, so you can sweep every single token they have. Treasures, blood tokens, creature tokens, clue tokens, all that stuff just gone. And then you still get to pick a couple of other things that they have on their board to get rid of. It's a fun little trigger. More often than not, you're going to use that trigger side of it. Sometimes, though, you'll use the other side to get back 2 instance or sorcery cards back to your hand, so you can either reuse removal or something of that nature. And then coming back up the next column, we have the last of the Kamigawa dragons in this deck, Junji the Midnight Sky. You're either going to make them lose 2 life and discard 2 cards, or you're going to bring something out of the graveyard onto the battlefield and lose 2 life. Either way, you win this little trade-off. And then we have Basilica Bellhaunt. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card and you gain 3 life. This is a good blinking target for your blink effects. To gain 3 life every time and make them lose a card is really good. Dungeon Geist, you can sit there and tap down a creature and lock it down. Again, for like the really big, dumb, tramply stuff, this is a good card just to be like, no, you're going to stay there and you're not going to do anything but be a good paperweight. Obsessive Collector, this is one of the alchemy cards on Arena. It's a flying ward 2/4/3 that says when it deals damage to a combat player, it seeks a card of mana value equal to the number of cards in your hand. So you're likely going to get something into your hand as long as you're at like the 5 or less level in terms of cards, 6 or less sometimes. Not many 6 drops in the deck. Mirror Hall Mimic, you can clone something. The best thing I've done, and I have it recorded, is I cloned a Patrician Geist to give myself double the Lord cards and just ran somebody over. Ghastly Mimicry, I didn't get to use this in the video recordings I did, but it's always good to slap this again on like a Lord's card or something with an ETB on it and just get card after card after card, because if they don't kill it, it's just going to keep making stuff. Shacklegeist, you tap 2 spirits you control to lock a creature down. Again, this is really good for the big dumb stuff. If you can't kill it, freeze it. Rattlechains has flash, and when it comes in, it gives a spirit hexproof. And you can cast a spirit out of your hand as though it had flash. So you're giving yourself instant speed casting for the most part, because most of the creatures in this deck are spirits. There's only like 2 or 3 that aren't. Ghostly Pilferer, you can make it unblockable by discarding a card, and then when you untap, you can pay 2 to draw a card. This is just really good, especially if you can strap on either like the double striking side of Twin Blade Geist, or if you can strap on the what do you want to call it, the Dorothea's backside, because then you make it unblockable. They can't block it, and you're still getting the benefit of those enchantments. Departed Deckhand, unblockable except by spirits, and not too many people play spirits other than the Dragon Spirit card, so you're more than likely going to be able to punch through with this. And you can also make your other creatures, if you pay 4, unblockable as well for the most part. And then speaking of the Twin Blade Geist I mentioned just a couple minutes ago, it's a double striking 1/1 on one side, and then for 2 and a white, you get an aura that gives the enchanted creature double strike. This is just really good to put on an unblockable or a flying creature, because if they don't have something to deal with it, they're going to get hit really, really hard, really fast. And then we also have Rescuer Chingwa. It's an elemental spirit, 2/2 with flash, and when it enters the battlefield, you can return a permanent to your hand that you control. So say you want to save something from a board wipe or save something from a direct removal spell or whatever, you just flash this in and bounce the creature back that was getting targeted, and then their spell fizzles and doesn't do anything. Grateful Apparition, this has good synergy with Toluz, and it also has good synergy with any of the other things that deal encounters, like Stonebinder's Familiar. We'll talk about him in a bit. Because when it hits somebody or a planeswalker they control, you get to proliferate, which means any number of counters on your stuff, you get to increase those counts by 1. So like with Toluz, if you connive and discard a non-land card, she'll get a counter, and then you hit with Grateful Apparition, she gets another counter, and you just keep going. It's just a good little synergy trick. Fleeting Spirit, for 1 and a white, you get a 3/1 that says you can pay a white and exile 3 cards from your graveyard and give it first strike. Not a big thing here. The good thing here, though, is you can blink it by just discarding a card. It'll flicker itself out, and at the end of the turn, it'll come back in, and it's good to go. You get ETB triggering stuff off of it, and you can protect it from getting killed, so you can block something as long as it doesn't have trample, and then blink it out, and then it'll come back, and you won't. It's just a perpetual blocker, basically. Eidolon of Extraction, it's a spirit, first strike, and then the loyalty abilities of your opponent's planeswalkers cost a colorless more. So if you're going up against somebody who's relying heavily on their planeswalkers, this really messes their plans up. If they don't destroy this or keep you from, keeping it around, they're going to get screwed up on their timing, because they're going to have to spend mana not only playing their planeswalkers, they're also going to have to spend mana to actually use these things. Drugskull Infantry, it's just a 2/2 for 2 vanilla creature on its own, but then it gets a +2/+2 enchantment aura on the backside that you can just put on anything to make it bigger. I recommend double striking creature or one of your flyers. Clarion Spirit, if you cast 2 spells in a turn, you get a 1/1 white spirit creature with flying. This just spits out little 1/1 flyers for you and is a spirit to benefit from the spirit stuff as well. Spectral Sailor, flash 1/1 for 1, flying, and it has 3 and a blue, draw a card. It's just a good little spirit. It's Flying Men plus. I like it. Mausoleum Wanderer, 1/1 for a blue, and it flies. And whenever another spirit enters the battlefield under your control, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Synergizes really well with the Hanged Executioner, because when it comes in, it gives you 2 bodies, so then it'll get +2/+2, so then you can swing with it as a 3/3. And you can just do like blink tricks with your other spirits to make it bigger. You can also do blink tricks on your opponent's turn, flicker out another spirit. It'll boost the Mausoleum Wanderer, and then you can sacrifice it to use its second ability, which says sacrifice Mausoleum Wanderer, counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays X, where X is the power of the Wanderer. So like if you can say Essence Flux one of your other spirits, this thing will get a bit bigger, and then you sacrifice it, and your opponent might have been only counting on having to have 1 mana open to try to pay for the Wanderer's trigger or activated ability, and then they get screwed. It's something to pay attention to. Lantern Bearer, and again, another one of these flying men with a little bit of upside. It's a 1/1 for 1, and it turns into an enchantment that gives +1/+1 in flying, which there's a few things in here that don't have flying, including Toluz. You can just strap it on there, and now they fly, and it's just good. Usher of the Fallen. It's a 2/1 for 1. It's Savannah Lions, and it has a benefit of be able to pay 1 and a white on attack and create a 1/1 human warrior creature token. Or if it survives combat, you can pay after the fact because it's Boast. And then I mentioned him earlier. It's the Stonebinder's Familiar. For 1 white, you get a 1/1 spirit dog, and whenever 1 or more cards are exiled during your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this, but it only triggers once per turn. If your opponent's exiling stuff and flickering stuff, it's going to get a counter. If you're doing it, it gets a counter. Synergizes really well with Toluz because you play the Familiar, then you play Toluz, you discard the card to the Connive, and then it exiles it and puts it under Toluz, and then he'll grow. So bear that one in mind too. And then this is the synergy row. I had this guy. He's not a spirit, but I like it just for the flavor reasons of it's a spirited companion, and it draws a card. It's just a good card. And then Whispering Wizard, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, so any of your removal spells, your flicker spells, even your mana rocks, it's going to give you a 1/1 white spirit creature token. The sucky part is it only triggers once per turn. And then we have Kaya the Inexorable. For 3 white black, you get a 5 starting loyalty Kaya Planeswalker, +1, put a ghost form counter on a non-token creature. And when it dies, it'll be put into exile, it'll come back to your hand and you create a 1/1 spirit token. So put this on Toluz, you can put it on one of your other ETB spirits, whatever. If it dies, it's coming back. And then you can -3 and exile target non-land permanent. That's the big thing with this, is just like, oh, that card's got to go. Goodbye. And then -7, you get the emblem with at the beginning of your upkeep, you can cast a legendary spell from your hand or your graveyard without paying its mana cost. So, and from exile, I forgot about that part. More often than not, you're never going to get to this. The big thing here is the exile stuff and keeping your stuff alive with the ghost form counters. That's why she's here. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to play black in the deck, because she synergizes with the whole spirit realm thing, creates spirits, yada, 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 along with Junji and the Basilica Bellhaunt as well. And then the last card is Ethereal Absolution. Again, another one of those lovely black cards I wanted to include. For 4 white black, you get creatures you control +1/+1, creatures your opponents control -1/-1. So it's a half of an Elesh Norn strapped onto it, and it's something that's harder to kill. And then for 2 white black, you can exile a target card from an opponent's graveyard, and if it was a creature, you get a 1/1 spirit token. So you get to boost your guys, shrink their guys, and have graveyard hate all wrapped up into one card, and it creates creatures if you're eating their creatures out of their graveyard. I just love this card. And then we have our mana base, your usual suspects, basic lands, plains, island, and swamp. All of the blue-white, blue-black, and black-white lands that you can shake your fist at. You got Attakar Waste, Deserted Beach, Hallowed Fountain, Hengegate Pathway, Mistgate Pathway, just all the stuff that you can fit in there that does dual effects to fix your mana base, go for it. And then Rafine's Tower, because it's on the colors. We also have Command Tower, Forsaken Crossroads, Plaza of Heroes, Unclaimed Territory, Naming Spirits, and then Obscura Storefront because it's in all 3 colors, so you can just go and get something out of your deck. It's just really good. So with that said, I hope you enjoy the deck. Hope you're on Team Spirit today, and let's get to the gameplay. Rin and Seri, Inseparable. Alright, well, I'll take this over the Gitrog monster. It just beat the living crap out of me. Yeah, I kind of like this hand. Let's go ahead and keep it. But the only thing I would ask for is a black in there just so I can either cast Toluz or do other things that come up. Now, if my opponent ever accepts their hand, that would be great. Because otherwise, I'm sitting here twiddling my thumbs. Come on. Normally, the videos that I say this in get cut from my stuff, but please, for the love, if you're gonna play this game, play it. Don't, queue up and then walk away and let the opponent sit there. That's rude, and I freaking hate it. I'll get off my soapbox now. We'll go ahead and do the Twin Blade Geist, and then I got a trio of options over here between the Patrician, the Hanged Executioner, and the Soul Herder, which I don't know, it's kind of a toss-up. I think it really depends if they put a blocker out for the Geist, because then I could pump it with this to get the double strike to rip through them. Or I could just do that and do 4 damage straight up. I could do Executioner. I could do Soul Herder. I mean, Soul Herder is probably a decent option because I could start flickering stuff. That might be the... Okay, because I can't punch through. Well, now that might make me want to do the Patrician Geist. Those Sifters is really good too, because if I can blink it, I can do card draw or I don't know. Shoot. Let's go ahead and do the Patrician Geist. This way I can beat through that Resolute Watchdog. He can either take 4 to the face or the dog dies. I'm not overly picky in this case. Okay. A vampire in a cat and dog deck. That's interesting. I'm trying to think here which is the most beneficial. I actually think it's going to be the Sifters because I can try to draw another land. Didn't get it, but that's okay. Let's get rid of the Goshintai. And then that leaves Essence Flux available as a protection / smack your opponent around type thing. What the hell is that? Oh, turn timber. Okay. Alright, so he's going to try to make a bunch of stuff. Gotcha. Alright, Mausoleum Wanderer. That's a thing. I'm going to go ahead and play the Wanderer. And I'll keep the Essence Flux available. And I'm going to go ahead and swing with the Geist. He's either going to block it with the Vampire and lose his Vampire and get no card draw off of it. And then I can just strap that onto one of my other guys, or he's going to take 4. I mean, or lose the dog. I mean, either way. All right. So now I have the Mausoleum Wanderer, so I can hit him with a Force Spike type of ability here for 2. I can do it up to 3 if I flux it first, though. You leave my Geist alone. Not drawing lands is proving to be a big pain in the ass right now. Quit looking at my Geist. He must have a really hard decision here. Is he going to try to board sweep? Because the Mausoleum Wanderer is going to the bin if that's the case. Blinky. No. Resolve. Well, now I can say I can do 3. And I can block a Welcoming Vampire and kill it too. I've made his life decisions much more difficult. All right, let's do the Hanged Executioner, because this will actually give me 2 triggers of Mausoleum Wanderer. And then both of these can swing. So it's take 10 or start losing stuff. It's take 10. Holy shit. Okay. That's a thing. All right. Well, I still have the ability to do the Mausoleum Wanderer for 2. So, which might have been what he was waiting for to get the Rin and Seri out. But the problem is now I have a bunch of flyers. And one of which can remove his flying blocker and then swing for the win. So he's got to sweep this border. He's dead. And okay, that's fine. Yeah, I can exile that guy. Just, you know. Bye. Oh, it's 4. Crap. I thought it was 3. Never mind. I'm dumb. Okay. So let's go ahead and play, because I don't have the ability to do anything else right now. I guess let's go ahead and do the Soul Herder, because then I can flicker the Hanged Executioner and get another spirit out of it. And I also get, plus the Wanderer, so I can just go swing. He's got to block. He's got no choice. So one of his ground pounders or that vampire is going to get bit. Oh. Okay. That's fine. I'm still flickering this one, so I can get an additional spirit token out of it. One last shot. You better make it count. That's not a board sweep. I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't Field of Ruin my Deserted Beach and then try to go get another white and do a Day of Judgment or something. But if he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. Dick. So frustrating. Swing, 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 swing. Everybody in the pool. We're gonna... Oh, he's giving it indestructible. I thought he was gonna destroy it. Okay, never mind. I was like, wait, what? Okay, never mind. That was funny. Spirits get the job done this time. Didn't really see much way of cats or dogs out of that deck. Ellywick Tumblestrum. Alright, it is a Dungeoneer guide type commander. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. And I've had worse hands. We'll drop this and then make this white. Just so we have all the white we need. Actually, I might do blue, because there are some double blue cards in the deck too, including Toluz. Because the Shattered Sanctum will give us double white. Alright. Well, that's kind of a pain, because it's going to give us the, or give him the ability to block our flyers for a while. No, I'm not blinking his thing. You stupid game. Let's do... Let's do Toluz. I want to dig a little deeper. Alright. Kyrie can't come out right now, so let's go ahead and put her under it. I could have also done Ethereal Absolution, but if she gets blinked or exiled in some way, I lose the card under it, and I would rather lose Kyrie than Ethereal Absolution. Okay, Deserted Beach. What does this do for us? Let's do Bone Shards, discarding a card, kill this thing. Let's discard the Absolution this time. I know I said I don't want to lose that, but at the same time, it's going to be a little bit yet before I can cast it. And let's do I just eat the... You know what? I'm not gonna let him get extra cards. We're gonna eat that Bestiary. He's gonna have to get rid of the touch before he can do any of this. Let's rob them of that card advantage. I think Ellywick's coming. Oh no. Oh crap. When you cast a creature spell. Okay, well that's dying. We do not need to take that damage. Go away. You're not destroying my enchantments and all that good fun stuff. Alright, there's the Innkeeper. Is it Ellywick time yet? Nope, it's Ulvenwald Aldi. Okay. That is a thing. Let's do Faceless Agent. And let's do Usher of the Fallen while we're at it. 8, right? No, 7. Okay. Take it. You don't have enough mana to transform it. Okay, I'll take those cards back. Alright, what to do, what to do. Crap. Let's do Dorothea, let's do Patrician Geist. I am not attacking right now. He plays a land, he can transform the oddity into a 10/10, which is a huge problem. So he plays a land, I know he's going to transform it, and then I have to triple block it. Otherwise, I think he's got another fight spell because he keeps looking at the oddity. Oh, he's going to go get the fight spell. Okay. Let's see. He can put 2 counters on it, make it an 8/8. I'm multi-blocking it. I do not care. Ding, ding, ding. You. All of it. He'll probably shoot the Patrician Geist, is my guess. I probably should have put the Geist in front of it, too, because of the pump. Because if he fights and kills one of these creatures, I can't kill the oddity. Maybe he missed that. Toski, okay. Dream Shackle Geist is really good against Toski. I kind of like this one. Because you can just keep him tapped and he can't hit you. If you're more worried about the other stuff, you just put something in front of Toski and tap something else down. Let's go, we'll go black, whatever. I got one of each to work with. Mind Stone is coming down next. Or yeah, because I want to get ahead on mana. Plus, I want to be able to get this down as quickly as possible. Because Toski might be coming down this turn. Oh no, it's the Questing Beast. Well, that's something to keep tapped down too. Let's go Command Tower. Obsessive Collector. He's going to have to pay a lot of mana to try to get rid of that if he wants to fight it. Yeah, if I can tap the creatures. Such a pain. Damn Vigilance creatures. Now, if he swings, I know he's got Inscription. So, or something of that nature, or at least a pump spell. Okay, he's going to break my Mind Stone, which is like, okay. You slow me down by a turn from playing Junji. Because if he offers up that Questing Beast, I may block it. I think I'm blocking it. I just want to see. Yeah, it's a good thing to get off the board. Let's go ahead and do Temple of Silence. I'll keep the rattle chains on top. And we'll go ahead and play the Geist. That. Doesn't matter. Alright, there's Toski. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to block. Oh. Damn, he had the fight spell. He must have just drew that, because there's no way he wouldn't have used that to shoot my guy last turn. Alright, let's get Junji up and running. Rattle Chains is my flash guy. I always mix him up with it. Okay, yikes. I really wish I had my Geist. That's a problem. Junji might be getting the Geist back, to be perfectly honest. If I don't board wipe out here. Well, I can't kill Toski, so I might as well kill the Vitalist. Alright, Kyrie is a thing. I'm going to keep Junji and Kyrie back. Because he didn't put a shield counter on that, so it's susceptible to getting just gang blocked to death. Word 3. Pony up. Let's see, I can mill 6 and get something back, which I need to look in my yard. What do I got? Anything? Nothing? Nothing. Okay. Done. So we'll go with the bounce. We'll bounce you, and that too. I can't bounce the Titan. It costs too much, but I can bounce everything else he's got. Really? Okay. Put a non-dragon creature card from... do I want his questing beast? Or do I just want my Dream Shackle Geist? I think I just want my Dream Shackle Geist. To be perfectly honest. Because it doesn't matter, because then the Titan... I mean, it's going to hit me, but now I can keep it from untapping. Let's play the dog. Woof, woof. Combat. Yeah, you're not untapping. And let's play Toluz. We'll duck a land under it. And we'll just sit back and wait, because Rattle Chains can flash out if need be to hexproof one of my things, like the Dream Shackle Geist that I need to keep alive. Great. What does this thing do? Gaining 4, looking at... Okay, that I was like, does it have a fight mechanic? No. Okay, let's cycle this. That's a thing that I can't hit that with. So let's play Chump Fodder. Move to combat. You're not untapping. We'll keep Rattle Chains up just in case of a fight spell. Because we've seen, what, 2 or 3 of them so far? Now, I'm sure he's probably going to either look at his stuff or gain life. There you go. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to keep up very long with this. Alright, there's the fight spell I was waiting on. Rattle chains. No. But I can do this now. Hey, Toski, go away. Alright, and we'll play the Unclaimed Territory naming Spirit. And this is not untapping. Fly, my pretties. I have to push as much through as I can because he's just going to gain life every time he recasts stuff. Out. Alright, I'm just going to hang on to that for right now. No untapping. Swing, swing, swing. I'll just keep Toluz back for now. Unfortunately, all this little swinging and I'm only netting the equivalent of a shock every turn. It sucks. At least until he runs out of creatures. But if I lose that Geist, I am dead. Or that. Shit. Liliana, Dreadhorde General, so it's going to be a lot of dying things. I'll give it a whirl. Only problem is the that's your problem. The weight costs. Actually, I might actually mulligan this. Yeah, we'll mull it. It's kind of... That's a little better. You're ready to get down, aren't you? Say hi to the peoples on the camera. Say hi, world. Aren't I cute? Let's do this so I can scry. And we're going to set it to that double weight in my hand. Let's set it to blue. Scry. And we'll leave that there. And we'll drop this. And I'll play Dorothea, because, hey, it's a legend. So that works out. And then, let's see here. You're breathing into my microphone, aren't you? I'm going to set you down, okay? Sorry about that. She wanted down. That's alright. Not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and do this, and I guess I'll leave it on top. Like I said, it's gonna be a lot of stuff dying, but at least then it gives me options. Alright, we'll do that, and let's go ahead and do... let's do Twinblade Geist. And the Pilferer. Alright. He didn't want to lose that Midnight Reaper. Useful information. I think I think. I think Kaya is the play. I think I just -3 and get rid of that Reaper.
Get out and finish the job. That was an easy job.
And I'm not going to attack. I'm just going to sit back. All right. All right, Twin Blade Geist, you're going under the bus. Because I can make him unblockable and punch through if need be. Alrighty. Did not get the land for this Ethereal Absolution or a double triple drop. Let's do +1 on this.
Well, you're not lacking for spirit.
And let's do let's do the Bloodline Pretender, because then at least as I'm casting some of these other things later, it'll grow. No. We'll pass. No need to do that, because I can just go block, and the Pilfer will come back to my hand. Or it can die now. I'm going to block the Vizier. No need to let that keep its death touch. Let's do what? Let's do Toluz. And I'll keep the Watery Grave, and we'll chuck Empyrean Eagle under her. And I'll plus her.
You'll be fine.
And let's do take action. And let's play the Herald's Horn. And we're gonna name spirits. Because duh. Now I might regret this. I probably should have played a second blocker, because if he kills Toluz, then Kaya's dead. He's got that option too. Womp womp. Reveal. I will take it. Let's go ahead. I'll go ahead and play Ethereal Absolution. And I'm going to swing at his Ugin. Because I'm fine with the worm dying. I have no qualms there. And this will just make all of his little dippers die that much faster. Okay.
I've learned much from your death.
Any creature on the battlefield. tempting just to dump both of these on the board and just start getting crazy with the pump spells. Alright, let's do Patrician Geist. I'm going to Mirror Hall Mimic the Geist. And I'm going to play Empyrean Eagle. He's going to have a big Meat Hook Massacre or a Crux of Fate to get out of this. Dog's over here eating its toy. I'm just hoping he uses something, because I do have the enchants in my graveyard. Okay, that's fine. That was what he got out of his key to the archive, so I'm okay with that. Alright, he's got a couple zombies. No big deal. Reveal. Alright, there's AO. Let's see here. If I strap Dorothea, it's going to be 16, 20 damage if I do the Blade Geist on one of them too. I think that's what I'm doing. I think I'm just going to go yam here. Let's put it on the Empyrean Eagle. And we're going to split it up. Face is the place. You. Actually, it would have been more damage. Shit. I didn't realize that spirit was that big. I forgot about all the plussing. So it would have been like 23 damage. Let's go ahead and play this and this. Ooh, that's good. Let's pitch the Goshentai. I don't care about it. And then end the turn. It's ghosts versus zombies. Who is going to come out on top? All right, we got a Rise, which means he's going to get the stuff I just discarded plus his Massacre Worm, but the worm can't kill my stuff. It's a big Bloodline Pretender. Oh, not that big, but big enough. Okay. Okay. Is that all you got? Sure. Sifters can block a 3/3. And I'll take the rest. Just to make sure I'm not ghost toast. Now, my turn. Man, that's the most of those I've actually hit on. Next, swing, 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 face. Face. Le GG. Dang. That hit pretty hard. Jhoira, alright, combo wombo. And that's a crap hand. Well, not much better, but at least I have colors I can play with. Let's do Clearwater Pathway and Lantern Bear. Bright Climb. And I think I want Familiar. I think I want the Familiar because as long as it survives into the next turn, Toluz will trigger him too. Or they'll burn it to death. I don't know. Okay. I think just so I don't see Jhoira on. It's like, do I save this for Jhoira or do I just? It's such a freaking stupid thing. I think I just do Toluz. I think I sit on that Mortify. And I'll dunk the Whispering Wizard. And swing. Because if he spends his whole turn playing like this and then doing Jhoira, then I kill Jhoira, and it's not a huge deal. Maybe I should have just killed the stupid Ornithopter. Alright. Well, screw it. Jhoira, come on down. Get out of my way. He can just block there, so it don't matter. I'm okay with that, because then I can strap it to Toluz and make her fly, too. You're at 5 mana, because the Mox doesn't work unless you have another legendary come out. Oops. Robber of the Rich, huh? Well, he's not getting any cards out of me, so I'm not too concerned. Okay, Soul Herder is an option here. Because I can blink Toluz to draw cards, and the Stonebinder will grow in size. Let's go ahead and swing in. Let's play the Soul Herder. I'm going to lose the Whispering Wizard, though, because if you blink it, you lose the card. And then let's go ahead and dunk. I'm going to throw the Qinghua under him. Or under her, excuse me. Because I don't care if it goes away. Whereas I would prefer to keep these two, and I do need more lands. So gonna try to make sure that happens. Alright, got Eternal Kefnet. And what does he got in the graveyard? Anything? Nothing. No. Alright, he can blink stuff. Yay. I mean, hey, go ahead. Blink away. Alright, Island, come here. And let's do Hanged Executioner. No attacks. Blink the Executioner. So I'll get an extra token out of it. Because eventually the Soul Herder will be so big that not even Kefnet can deal with it. Especially if I strap a Lantern Bearer onto it. That's Thibblethip. And now he can blink Thibblethip, but that's fine, because again, the Soul Herder just goes up and up and up. or put it into exile. So I can't exile it with the Hanged Executioner. That just isn't going to happen. But I can exile it with the or exile Thassa, which might be the smart play. I'm not sure. At any rate, let's strap that on him. And let's go swinging with that. And we're going to go ahead and drop the Bloodline Pretender on the board in second main and blink the Executioner, because then it'll get 2 counters. So, Blinky. So many good little interactions. I really should try to build more blink interactions into the deck. Phasing. Uh-oh. He might just blow the board, though. Yep. But I get more than he does. So. Yes. And I get my Rescuer Chingle back. But apparently the server's a little hung up. I think that's actually the first time I've ever seen that card played against me in any capacity. Only because I know I can completely break his back with this if it dies. I'm going to play it. Because I can bounce every single one of those 2/2s back to his hand. I mean, honestly, it might even be worth taking on the chin to kill Kyrie off of that Feed the Swarm just to nuke his board. Not at this point, though. Let's do Toluz. Yeah, we'll pitch the Qinghua back under him. Her. Jesus. Let's swing with Kyrie. If he wants to gang block, I'm okay with that. Let's kill the 5/6, because I think when it hits the yard, it's no longer God Eternal. It's just the Spark Double. I don't know if that was how that works or not. Return any number. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. I can do up to 6. That's a 4. That's a 5. That's a 4. We'll go ahead and do that. And submit. It actually let him put the Spark Double back in the deck. You son of a... Alright. It's either take 4 from it later or take 5 now. So... Oh, wow. Or I'll take both. Crap. That didn't work out the way I wanted to at all. Though, to be honest, I'm kind of surprised that he didn't. I'm gonna go ahead and do this because what I want to do is I want to tap here and play this and tap the dragon. I'm actually kind of surprised that he didn't swing with the dragon and then blink the dragon. Ooh, Exaxes. Nice. I didn't even do the math. Alright, I'm back for a little bit of a short post-game wrap. This deck didn't do all that great for me. It's probably not built right. I was just trying to come up with something for the Halloween theme. And I had fun with it, but it struggled a lot with several matchups. Several cards I would not run if I were to rebuild this. Goshintai of Shared Purpose is terrible. I more often than not just chucked it into the graveyard off of Toluz and then let it get exiled out. Rescuer Chingla didn't do a whole lot for us. Never drew some of the cards, so I can't really judge if it's any good or not. The Hanged Executioner was a good all-star for us in terms of, getting attention drawn to it. The Patrician Geist was really good for us too. It got copied. It did a lot of good things for us. But overall, I'm not sure how to take this. Probably needs more spells to protect our stuff. Probably needs less actual spirits in it. And just less crappy spirits, I should say too. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're having fun with this as I go along in these decks. We got a few more coming because Halloween's not very far off from now. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.